me. Brad Mills did a wonderful video of me, kind of a music video that is just awesome. Uh, in my earlier days, I had a couple rock bands, and I always wanted a music video of my own, but it never happened. Now it has. So have a listen. Remember, at the end of the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Always grateful for the people that are donating down below. Check out my new Patreon page. And remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. See you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. What's the point of putting your money into it if it's not gonna last? Always ask. There's many competing for world dominance. I believe China has all the cash. Today we're talking about Bitcoin. Today we're talking about Pentacoin. Today we're talking about chip chain coin. If you want to know how much blood, see you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. It came up as a scam of some sort. Token that's trying to change the world. One thing I don't think I mentioned, they start with good intentions. Today we're talking about Matic coin. Today we're talking about Allrun coin. Today we're talking about Aeon coin. If you want to know how much blood, see you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. See you in the future, very good.
Subscribe.
Not a scam, go buy some Cardano.
Subscribe.
See you in the future, very good.
Subscribe.
Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Is this gonna last that 10-year mark? In short time, it came up in the cards. Tracking goods from point A to point B. New cycle with cryptocurrencies. Because it's fairly unknown to the majority of people on the planet Earth. Most people barely know what an Ethereum is. Hi, Psychic Readings by Andre here. Just a new intro. That's actually an old video that came out quite a while ago from a fan that he edited that video for me a couple of years back. So we just thought we'd bring it back for the intro. So hope you enjoyed it. My music career is now begun again. So always grateful for everybody coming out. Just a reminder that we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark down that on your calendar. And let's get into it. The first topic today, like in the title above, is when the whole world is crashing down. So even Super Whittle guy liked that intro video. I used to be a rock drummer way back when. back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, that's early 90s even. I had a few bands, so it's kind of coming back, I guess, to the musical side of me. I have written my own music, so anyways, let's get into it. Let's be serious, like serious crypto nuts. Anyways, let's look at the worldwide crash and everything that's happening. And how long will it last? Right? Now, those are some questions everybody has on their mind. As do I. I don't think this is going to be a very quick crash. It's not only just cryptos; it's everything. The S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the you name it. It's coming down in the next little while. Even that Ethereum and the Bitcoin and all that sort of. Even though they're a little green today, which is uh, very interesting today. Probably a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Okay. I don't think it's going to continue to go up for the next little while. So let's get into it. So let's look at the world is crashing. So it seems that the health of that idea is very strong. Okay. We can't get away from it. We see it now. The regular public is starting to see the effects of the crash, right? You go to the supermarket, you go shopping, and you notice those prices are coming right up. So this is going to be happening even more so after the harvest season, which is August, September, that sort of thing. We're going to see prices go sky high because of fuel prices, right? It costs more money to put it in the ground, costs more money to get it out of the ground. Livestock, it requires all that stuff that we put in the ground, which costs even more. So all that expense is put to the customer at the end, right? So this is why we're seeing Joe Biden running around the world trying to beg Saudi Arabia to lower the gas prices and to use a War Measure Act against the oil companies. I don't know why he's doing that. It's his own darn fault. It's basically a whole bunch of redirection and time of pointing fingers at everybody. And we also have that Joe Biden was pleading with Russia to lower the price of their wheat and their fertilizer because, unfortunately, I believe the United States gets most of their fertilizer from Russia. So when you put uh, a halt on all that, it's going to be coming back to us 10 times or 100 times full for the price of goods. So in the new when all this happens after the new harvest season, people are going to get very selective on what they buy. Okay, because prices are going to right up the yin yang. So, and this is going to cause this domino effect where goods and services companies that make these goods and services are going to be laying off people. And then it's going to be a whole domino effect down the line as those people can't buy the goods. Now they got to knock off some more jobs and on and on and on and on and on. So it seems that this is going to be the way forward for the next couple of years. So get ready with those resumes and get out there and look for new opportunities for yourselves, especially in the uh, markets that are necessities. If you can get into anything that's a necessity, excellent. Okay. And if for those business minded people out there, maybe shift your selling to more necessity items. Okay. So the health of the whole thing is, as I had just said, the money is going to be way up and down. It's going to do this for the next year or so. Not just cryptocurrencies, but other financial systems are going to be really rocked in the next little while because of the elites doing the things that they've done, right? They're the only ones to blame for all this nonsense going forward. And the people that are involved in this are building things in the background to get everything back up and running because they don't want that rioting, right? Well, some do, but the majority of the elites do not want us to go to Canadian Tire and buy ropes and anyways, so we're going to see this whole switch over. We're already seeing the finger pointing of other elites pointing at other elites. It's your fault. So that's going to be what it's going to be like in the next year or so. Recovery will probably be about 6-7 years from now. That's usually the whenever you look back in history, when a crash happens, it takes about that long to get everything back up and running in the normal system. In the crypto system, it's like that little race car. It can jump around like crazy, where the regular market is like a train. It takes a long time to go up and down. But when it does go down, it's there for quite some time. So this is the time I was predicting where everybody's going to be starting to look at cryptocurrencies to preserve their wealth. Okay, and that's going to be very prevalent when the cryptocurrency markets, like the little race car, is going to be pumping back up, but the old market is not. Okay, so this is the beginning of that whole scenario that I've predicted a long time ago. So if you're not buying those cryptocurrencies yet, and not financial advice, of course, you do you, but it's probably the time to start thinking about getting more cryptocurrencies to preserve your finances. Okay, so let's look at the next thing. Predictions for Russia. And we already talked about that a little bit. Joe Biden is begging Russia to cheapen the price of their wheat and their fertilizer and their fuel. Okay, all those embargoes and all that wonderful things that our elites in the West have done are now backfiring. So let's have a look at good old Mother Russia. And they're still tyrants themselves, but they're nicer tyrants, I guess, as tyrants go. So Russia in the next year or two, it seems that they're going to be taming many of the things that were hindering them, and it was not really hindering them that much. And they're going to be making lots of cash because now their ruble is one of the more stable currencies that are on the planet, because now it's backed by gold. So we're going to see this huge rise in the price of gold and silver and all that in the next little while, because they're going to have to start to reevaluate these things going forward to do commerce between different countries. With Russia and many of the countries that do a lot of business with Russia are going to be reevaluating the price of gold so they can use that to purchase goods. Okay, you have to remember everything that's going on, it's all about money. It's not about you. And the elites, they don't care about you. If you had any strange notions that they actually care about you, think again. Okay, so that's going to be a thing. They're going to be taming all the embargoes and all that stuff against them, and they're going to be making a lot of cash. So if you don't have any rubles, it might be time to get some of those in the long run. The people that are involved in that, they're going to be making new partnerships with different countries, and they're going to be coming out on top as a new superpower. Okay, they're not going to be taking over everything, but their actions are going to be um, putting everything on the right track for everybody else on the planet. It's going to be a better pill to swallow. Okay, but it's going to be necessary to bring in our new way of life, which is going to happen through adversity. Always comes uh, great things. Okay. Edgar Casey, one of my favorite psychics to read. He predicted all this long time ago, back in the 1930s. Um, that Russia would be the thorn in the side of the West. And there, of course, back then when he made that prediction, Russia was still a communist state. So people are looking at, you're crazy. But now it's going to be the light of the world. Even though Putin is no angel, he's the man to get the job done. Unfortunately, even now he's a bit of he is a tyrant, but not as bad as many of the other elites that we have here in the West. Um, so they're going to be making new friendships and partnerships with other countries, and the other countries are going to be getting those knee pads ready, if you know what I mean, um, to do a certain thing to mend those connections between Russia and the rest of the world. Okay, so that was an interesting look at the future of Russia. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. So somebody keeps asking about Dogelon Mars. Is it going to get to 1 penny? Okay. Dark says, laugh out loud knee pads. Yep. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun watching the news the next little while as they to Russia. Anyways. Move on. The wife says move on. We're going to move on. So Dogelon Mars, will it get to that 1 penny? I don't think it's going to be one of these huge cryptocurrencies that's going to be coming out in the future. It's going to have its place in under the sun. It's going to do well, but I don't think it's going to get to that 1 penny because of awareness from the rest of the people, and the Doge thing is starting to um, succeed. It's more of the Shiba Inu for the majority of the people. Now, if Elon Musk did the Shiba Inu Mars thing, I could see that being more prevalent, but I don't think Dogelon Mars 1 penny is. It'll get close, but I don't think the interest is there. Could be because I think everybody's going to be focusing on other things. It's maybe a good one to make some quick cash if you're an experienced trader like the Dark on the side here. But for the regular people, maybe put a little bit of money into it. But I think it's that money would be best suited into Bitcoin right now and Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and Chainlink, because those are going to be pumping the most, and they have that infrastructure, and everything's going to be turning upside down in the cryptocurrency market. So yeah, it might get to that 1 penny in a couple of years or within a couple of years, but I don't think it's going to be a huge deal like everybody was thinking. Okay, so let's move on. Litecoin. Now, this is a prediction my wife made the other day. I was talking about Litecoin. I remember she's a psychic as well. I'm just the crazy one that gets on camera and talks to everybody around the world. But she does do readings and premonitions herself. And she had numbers floating around in her psychic sense of 3,500 or more. She didn't know if it was 3,500 or what was the numbers?
35,000.
35,000 in the next year or so. Litecoin has not been affected as much as many of the other cryptocurrencies. And we talked about this in an earlier show that Litecoin may be kind of saved from all the ups and downs and the bloodbath of everything, where it could get to that price. And it's a coin that everybody can get into. I think it was $65 Canadian. I don't know what it is American. That you can actually own a couple and ride it up. Right? Not financial advice. Okay, you do you, but it might be a good one to look into. Let's throw some cards down for the Litecoin. Is her premonition correct? I think it is, but let's just make sure. Of course, it's one of those things that's kind of furthest from your mind because you're kind of focused on the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But Litecoin, which nobody really talks about except me and a few others, may be the key. Okay. And maybe the dark will be investing a little bit more into Dogecoin, or Litecoin. Dogecoin, it's old news, right? So the Litecoin, $3,500. I think it's going to be more than that. The health of that situation seems very, very strong. They're looking to expand on that price that I'm picking up in the near future. It could be one of the safe havens that everybody was looking for, okay, against Bitcoin and all that sort of thing, and easiest to get into. So it seems that the price is going to be pretty stable for the next little while. And the people that are involved in it, it's kind of one of those overlooked cryptocurrencies, and I think everybody's going to start to notice very, very soon. Okay, kind of our thing here on the bottom. So, not financial advice, but if you got some extra cash, might be a good idea.
That's what we're buying on our holidays?
That could be. And some Bitcoin too.
Oh, my turn, right? My turn.
Hi there, hope you well. I would like to know if I will find another job anytime soon. I lost my job. Please. Now, usually the first question I ask is, have you put any applications in? And some clients say no. That'd be the first step. Okay. It may not be in the field of work that you're used to. Sometimes you're going to have to take a lesser job just to make ends meet. That's okay. Okay, we're getting into rough waters coming up. So it may get into the time when you're going to have to find other jobs that's kind of lower than what you normally do. But let's have a look. Will she get that job? I think you may be looking at it not wide enough. You're not casting a large enough net to find those jobs. You're going to have to broaden that search if you're on the web and all that looking for jobs. I think you're going to have to broaden your search into other skill sets that you may have. And I believe if you do that, something will start to come up. Just to tide you over until all this wonderful stuff that our elites have been doing is ending. I think it's time to take note of all your skill sets and start working through that. And And once you start to do that, I believe, and get active, okay, start putting those applications out there, and yes, you will find something, okay? I'm picking up that it probably won't be in the field that you were initially in, okay? You might have to go back a little bit, then come forward, and from there, okay, just to keep things rolling. Okay, thank you for that question. Hopefully that helps you. Will my wife win the California lottery this year? She said she's had dreams of it back to back this year. Okay. That's the other question people ask me. Will I win the lottery? Did you buy a ticket? No? Okay. Then no. But if she's buying tickets, then we got the action. Okay. It doesn't look like no for this year. Yeah, we got the tower. Okay, so make sure that her emotional side is up. Okay, when it doesn't happen. Okay, and be putting that energy into other things that can make you the money that you're looking for. I know winning the lottery is interesting thing to do and fun and all that. That energy could be put into buying cryptos, okay, and you probably win much more instead of spending that money on lottery tickets. That's what me and the wife did. Okay, that money that we used to put into lottery tickets, we just put it in the crypto, and we've made much more than overall than any other venue of money. So have a look into that. Okay, thank you for that question. Yeah, Marlon says, my lottery is buying cryptos. Excellent idea. Hi, Andre. Can you talk about the thousands of cows that died here in the U.S.? Anything the cards have to say?
What?
Here in Canada, we had the bird flu thing going on, and there was police that went into a chicken farm, and the farmer didn't want them to do anything, and they proceeded to kill all the chickens on his farm. So stupidity abounds. So why did those cows die? Now the question is that story true? There's a lot of stories that are floating around that may not be correct. Okay. Fear tactics again. And we got the government trying to kill everything like livestock to keep us compliant to their stupidity. So it seems that that's going to be at the end of a cycle. I don't think it was some natural thing that happened to them. I think it was man-made incident. Okay, probably the government in the U.S. doing its stupidity. There's been the U.S. government does many stupid things. So, and that's going to be at the end of a cycle, and they're going to be changing their tactics because they know that they cannot win this fight. Okay, that the people are much stronger than they had anticipated, and they're getting a lot of guns pointed at their agents, especially in the rural areas. So they're going to be pretty much kind of stopping that situation when they are doing that sort of thing. The financial part of that situation, they're not making as much money. You have to remember there's corporate farms that are have interest in getting rid of the smaller farms. And they're doing everything so that the corporate farms have control over everything. So they'll do things like this, okay, to gain control. But that's going to be changing in the near future, okay? And the people that are associated with that will be ousted out of their positions very, very soon. Okay, so thank you for that, David. Will Ethereum fall to $468? That'd be nice. Marlon would like that. He's trying to get 32 coins, by the way. I'd do it too. 32 coins, get your own node. Make some pretty good money when it comes back up. This is the time to be greedy. Let's just check on that price. That's probably the American price. It's probably $800 Canadian, roundabout there. Marlon says, "Oh yes, I would." I don't think it's going to get to that price, unfortunately, but it'll probably be pretty close to about $800 American in the next little while. Still affordable for Marlon and many others that want to get those 32 coins or whatever it takes to have a node. I know he still wants that amount coming down much, much lower so you can buy the node. We got the Nine of Swords, which is people are being stressed out about this price point. And I think it's gonna get a little lower, but not quite to that amount. I think we got the sunny days. We got the sun. So if you're worried about that cryptocurrency going that low, don't worry. Just keep buying if you can, and if you want to, at a nice cheap prices for everybody. Because when it's going to go back up, it's going to be pretty darn good. So first part of the question, no, it would be nice if it did, but I don't think it's going to. I wish it could do that. Now, XRP to 0.25, 25 cents, I guess. That'd be a nice price too. Anyways. And XRP is going to be much stronger after all the silliness that's been put on their plate, SEC and all that crap. I think they're going to be getting to that price point very, very soon. And it's going to be going back up again quite quickly. So if you have those trading bots and you know how to do that, it might be a good time to get it at that price point. And then after that, it's probably going to go up as soon as the SEC stops doing what they're doing and it goes back on the exchanges as it should be. I think that it will probably get to that price point. Okay, thank you for that. Would Andre give up the cards and become a music star instead? I've tried that. But it's just not in the cards for me. Grow your hair long and get the band back together. I used to have very, very long hair back in the day. And my studded wristbands and black leather. but that was back in the 80s. I don't think that time's going to be coming anytime soon. Even though my lead guitarist, who lives next door, he's lost all of his hair. I got more hair than he does, so you're gonna have to wear a ball cap when he plays. So, maybe someday if I'm a Bitcoin millionaire. Okay. Thank you for that question. Can you tell me how my friend Donna is going to be, if she's going to be okay? Okay. I think she's going to be going through a very bad situation the next little while. You're going to be there to help her out, becoming closer friends as that situation unfolds itself. I think overall she's going to be okay, but the process of where is and where she's going to be going and the end result is going to be very difficult. Okay, and you're going to be there as a good friend and helping her out even more so, uh, to come out the other side, uh, through that, not unscathed, but doing okay. Okay. Um, I think your help with her is going to be very beneficial to both of you going forward. And you're going to be having closer ties together, even more so. Okay. So, help her out, and I think she'll make it through. Okay, thank you for that question. Is Solana gonna survive? Probably. Yeah, I already said yes. Even now, it's had its 51% attacks every other day. They've had to shut it down several times, but people keep investing in it. I guess they're just wanting it to keep going for whatever reason. Let's just throw a couple cards down. Yeah, it's going to survive. It's going to take a lot of hard work, and they got to have a broader decentralization to them because they keep getting shut down. Any other normal coin that does that would be gone, right? But Solana seems to just beat the odds, I guess, and people keep investing in it. So yeah, it's going to be surviving for some time, just through sheer willpower and all the things that people have been doing in the background to keep it alive. Okay, maybe you should fix these problems so it keeps not going down with 51% attacks. But yeah, it will survive. Okay, thank you for that question, Dark. Will South Africa hold up during the crash? Well, that's a loaded question. The people will survive. Okay, it won't be exactly the way it is now. I know people want to hold on to the way things are. When we're going through situations such as crashes and stuff, it just makes that country better. If it works, it has to work hard to keep everything alive. You may have a lot less people there, okay, because they move away to other places to get a fresh start. But it will survive, but it won't be unscathed. Okay, I know everybody's hoping that their place that they live is going to be unscathed by everything. there's very few safe havens that you can go to, probably Mexico, um, just to survive this whole thing. I think South Africa will survive. Well, I know it will. The people will endure. It's just they're going to change tremendously to cope with everything that's going to be going on um, in the future, near future. Okay, so yeah, they will survive, but not unscathed. Okay, thank you for that question. And that video is forcing me to put a limit buy on Cardano. Can't get damn song out of my head. Every other line, buy that Cardano. The wife plays it, and sometimes before we go live, and it.
I love it.
She loves it. Me, not so much. I like it. It's just hearing my own voice sometimes is irritating to me. So when I'm doing video editing, it's tough. When will crypto market go to all-time high again? I hear based on technical analysis, not until early 2024. I think it's going to be a little before that, but I think they're on track. There's all kinds of numbers being thrown around. I think by the end of August, September, we're going to see that it's going to go back up, but not to the all-time high. But this is the time that you keep buying to ride it back up. What is coming down the line for cryptocurrencies is going to be amazing. Okay. The amount of money that's going to be pumped into cryptocurrencies. Okay. When we have the changeover, when the old fiat system collapses, and it is right now, people are going to, wait a minute, you can put it in the Bitcoin. It's, you have to think of it differently now. The old fiat system is gone. Where else do you have to go? Gold, silver, crypto. Okay. So if you want to protect your value of your money, that's probably the places that you're going to go. And once everybody starts doing that, you're going to see cryptocurrency go to much higher highs than what we've ever experienced before. Okay. Thank you for that question. Well, GLQ, Graphlinq, crypto reach 50 cents US in the next 12 months. Okay. So the first part of the question, there's two questions here. We'll get to that 50 cents. This time it's a yes. Many of the questions that Dilly asks, it's no. But this time it's a yes. In the next 12 months, I think it's positioned itself in a good way to achieve that. It has enough infrastructure and enough interest and everything that needs to go on to get it to that point in the near future. They're going to be having some victories along the road. And I believe it's going to be one of the survivors. There's not going to be many survivors. Okay. When the tide goes out, we're going to see who has the swim trunks on. And many cryptocurrencies don't. Okay. That's a Warren Buffett phrase. Yeah, it's going to be surviving. And it's going to get to that 50 cent mark in the next 12 months. 5 to 10 year outlook for that cryptocurrency. Yeah, it's going to do well. It's not going to be taking over Bitcoin and all that, but it's going to have its place in the sun, under the sun. And it's going to do well in the near future. I don't think that price pump beyond 50 cents is going to be happening anytime soon. It's probably going to ride up in the next 2 to 3 years' time beyond that 50-cent mark. Okay, thank you for that question. Well, I get fired from my job. I just woke up and I dreamed people were getting laid off and crying. I was taking taxi rides instead of driving my car. Many times when we have dreams, it's our subconscious, because you're probably noticing this around your workplace already, that there's a difficulty within the workspace. And that leads to fear and all that sort of thing. And dreams are a way of sorting out those things, okay, in your own mind. It's not necessarily looking into the future. It's just resolving many of the issues that your subconscious has been struggling with. It. You probably already seen struggles and plus watching the news and all that sort of thing compounds on everything that you've been dreaming of. Okay. And that's what I'm picking up. I don't think you're going to be necessarily being laid off. I think it's just you wanting to look for a safer vocation. Okay. And I would highly recommend sharpen up that resume and start throwing it out there. Don't disrupt your job that you have now. Okay. Keep carrying on, but now is the time to start looking. Sharpen up that resume and start throwing it out there. It's never a bad idea to keep looking for other vocations. Okay, even if you get accepted and you don't want it, it's always a good idea, especially if you're feeling that fear. Okay, I don't think you're seeing the future. I think it's just your subconscious working through some issues that are impacting you. Okay, so not a bad idea to start sharpening up that resume and start throwing it out there. Okay, thank you for that question. Obama bought a 2,500 gallon tank for gas. Why would he do that? I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure what you're getting at there. Any idea?
Not exactly.
It's not clear. Oh, for his house.
Prices are going to go up.
Price is going to go up. Even though the solution from the elites is very simple. Start pumping gas in your own country. Gas expensive, yes.
So he's going to hoard it.
Yeah, hoarding. Even though you can't store gas for very long. It has a shelf life. So
all right.
Will Jupiter crypto reach $1 in the next 12 months?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hence the smiley face.
Super way to go. Ah! We're trying to be serious. This is a very serious psychic show. We don't do jokes very well. So getting back to Dilly. Jupiter. Will it get to that? $1. It looks like no. Not in that time span, anyways. There's some things happening behind the scenes. I think are impacting the price point for the next little while. It will. There's some legal things going on behind the scenes for this cryptocurrency in the near future. So it may be hindering the price and its survivability in the near future. Okay, so 5 to 10 year outlook, it's going to be facing some trouble. Okay, thank you for that, Dilly Dilly. Job in Switzerland. Wow. I talked to somebody from Switzerland not that long ago. The only thing with doing readings for people in other countries, it's time zones. Where do you live? And I got to do math. It's 5 o'clock here. So we get through it. No worries. So, job in Switzerland. I don't think that job you're looking at is going to be the one. I think there's going to be another one that pops up. And it's going to be more emotionally fulfilling for you. So you're on the right track of looking at the right places, but I think it's not going to be this one, but it's going to be the next one that comes along from there. You're in the right ballpark. It's just not the right ball. So I think the next one is going to be the one that from there that is going to be the one that's going to be the one that catches. Okay, thank you for that. And I hope that helps you. Hi, Drip, going... English. Okay. Hi, Drip, going to $100?
Hi. Drip coin. Drip. There's supposed to be a comma after hi.
Oh. I thought he's calling me a drip. Anyways, it's going to be a fun show today. Is Drip going to $100 in 2023? Okay. Punctuation. The elusive comma. It's like reading a William S. Burroughs book. He didn't use any punctuation. Okay, let's get serious. Okay, $100. Drip coin. Yes, it looks like it is. We got the judgment card. It has been pointed out that yes, it's going to be going to that price in the next little while. 2023. I think the cards are just correct and everything put in place that it can do that. So kudos. So I think Dripcoin is going to be making that price point in that time period. Okay, thank you. And I'm not a drip. Is Truebit starting its run now? Or more time to get more? So you're asking, should you be more greedy? Or stop the greediness? It is starting to do its run, but I think it's going to go. It's going to be short-lived. Then it's going to start to decline and then jump back up. Could be one of those double bounce things traders keep talking about. So just be aware of that and put your buying things in the right places. Just wait for it to do that sort of thing. Okay, thank you, Dark. Is the solar system a lie? No.
That's it.
That's it.
No cards.
Hi, Andre and Yvonne. Is Kraken exchange safe? I have cashed USD for pending order on Ethereum. I'm wondering if we are going to have a hack before year end on the major exchanges. So you're in the middle of something. You know what I always say about exchange: never leave your crypto on an exchange. Put it on a cold wallet or a hot wallet, but never leave it on the exchange. If you're in the middle of something, that's a good question. I don't think there's going to be. The cards aren't showing that there's going to be a hack anytime soon. Okay, but once it's done, make sure you get it off of there as quickly as possible, and put it in your Trezor wallet or Ledger Nano. It's probably the best way to do it. Okay, thank you for that. Saw that Elon Musk may do a 3-to-1 Tesla stock split. Your thoughts on this? Usually, when stock splits, it brings prices of certain stocks down for a period of time. But let's just have a look at what the cards are saying. Will he do it? So it must be doing okay if it's going to be splitting. I think it's just him doing Elon Musk things to pump things up. There's some things hampering everything in the works for whatever reason. I don't think it's going to be splitting 1-3. It could be 1-2 or something, or something a little different than what has been announced. He wants to do something, but I don't think it's going to be exactly what he wants. Yeah, there's some. I think he's kind of struggling a little bit trying to pump things up, and people aren't really listening to him. And this is just more of a attention grabber. Okay, thank you for that question, and thank you, Dark, for the 10 GBP. Was the moon landing a lie? No. Yeah, we'll throw some cards down for that. Yeah, we did go to the moon. There's lots of evidence of us going there. Well, let's see if we can get any other insights on that. That whole thing was to getting to the moon was, to, of course, to beat the Russians, and the Russians have been there as well, and many other countries, or one other country, I think, went there. It's just something that's kept surviving throughout the ages. That it was a whole lie. I don't know why we would lie about that sort of thing. We don't really have anything to gain from it except for a boost in our technology. Much of the technology that we use today is based on that effort. So thank you for that question. Do we live under a dome? No. Possible, but I don't think so. Thank you. Sorry. Anything else? We're at the hour, so.
Yeah. Do some cards for that.
Do some cards. Do we live under a dome? Is it like what's that TV show? The Truman Show? It's like living under a dome. That it's the elites trying to keep us under control in a certain way by keeping us within our own borders and not expanding the world community to the world. So they put these thoughts into our minds that we have to have these closed off societies from one another so that we don't gain information from each other. So that thought has been prevalent for quite some time since I started looking into things such as moon landings and all that sort of thing. It's more of a mental and social construct in our minds to block ourselves from other societies on the planet. Okay? So thank you for that question. That's it? We're at the hour. Yay! Super Whittle Guy goes, better question is, how many alien structures are on the moon? And there's a couple. That and Mars, and my research into aliens and all that. Yes, we've gone there, and we're disallowed from going to the moon anymore because of some of the things they found, and they were told to get out until we're ready for bigger things. Okay, so with that, always grateful for everybody that comes out. Just a reminder that we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark down your calendars. And if you like a personal reading with me, go to psychicreadingsbyandre.com, where all that information is going to be there for you. And if you like to protect your cryptocurrencies in the best way, make sure you go to the same site where we have an affiliate link to the Treasure store. Okay, so with that, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.